always say we're still at $100 because you guys have been really good. So if your phone rings, it's $25. It's $100 if you answer it. Okay? And so far we've raised $100, and Jill is under instructions to call everyone during the meeting. So see what happens here. And if you guys' phones ring, it's like $500.
At least.
Yeah.
I've already contributed.
So Polly and Carrie have somebody they want to introduce to you guys. As you guys know, Prospect Mortgage is affiliated with us up in the Santa Rosa office, and we agreed to have them come down here and talk to us about Katie and everything. So big hand for Polly and Carrie. Bring it on.
Well, good morning. I'm Polly Barnes. I think I've seen some of you up at the West office, and this is my partner, Carrie Barnes. We're with Prospect. We invited Katie Shin, who's our strategic account manager, to come in today and tell you a little bit about what she has to offer you. I do want to tell you one new product announcement that we do have, which I think is real exciting. We will now do investment properties with 15% down with MI. So for those investors that just want to, or the new investor who doesn't have the 20% down, with a 720 credit score, we will do that loan now with 15% down. Okay?
Cool.
So Katie, can you stand up and tell me a little bit about yourself?
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'll try it again. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right. No, not too early. How much time do I have, right?
You have 10 more minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Really?
10 more minutes. Yeah.
My name is Katie Shin. I am actually a former team leader. I was team leader in Walnut Creek. I was actually a national real estate trainer with Keller Williams. I traveled with Gary Keller and Dave Jenks during the shift tour. So I went to about 25 cities across the country and obviously know the Keller Williams model very, very well. I am a realtor, obviously a real estate manager and leader in the marketplace, and came to work for Prospect Mortgage as a really interesting role. The idea is that, and tell me if you guys agree, that most realtors don't speak lender and most lenders don't speak realtor. Yes? So basically, I'm a translator. So my job is to help bridge the gap between the loan side and the real estate side, because this is the relationship that is the most needed of trust. Would you agree? Right? If there isn't that trusting relationship between the realtor and the lender, everything goes crazy, right? So we know that every transaction moves to the speed of the loan, right? So and that's if you're the listing agent or the buyer's agent, yes? So the concept is that what can we do to help bring value to your business? Obviously closing loans, duh, right? So we're good at that. Prospect Mortgage has a history of really being focused on realtor relationships in the purchase business. When the refi boom was going crazy, yes, we still do refis, but it was really still keeping that focus on how do we bring value to our realtor relationships, to our real estate business partners. And so my job was created in response to how do we take that relationship, not just offering tools and great products, but how do we take that relationship even up a notch? And so why don't we hire realtors, real estate leaders in the marketplace to help bring value to these relationships? Because I have literally walked in your shoes. I even have a pair of red KW tennis shoes in my closet. And so I'm very, very familiar with your model, obviously with the Y4C2Ts and all of the cultural things that come along with that, and understanding that we want to bring value to your business. So one of the things a couple things that I do to help bring value is I still teach and train. That is a passion of mine. I still love to do that. Actually was at the KW leadership meeting on Friday afternoon and was chatting with Gene Frederick about 101 lead generation. He and I both have that. Actually, I stole it from him, and so I shared that with him that I've been teaching it, and he said, well, I've changed it. And I said, well, I've changed it. So I'm still that trainer, coach, and want to make sure that we're continuing to provide value, whether it be lead generation, whether it be time management, whether it be taking, what you're looking to do and just need a second pair of eyes to look at it. Because that is something we want to do. The thing that I think is really unique about Prospect, and I think you've got a great team here with Polly and Carrie, is that we are looking not just at a transaction, but about building partnerships. I know personally when I was a realtor, I had a prospect loan officer that was my business partner. And so we look at things differently versus just this one transaction and getting this done. And we don't, yes, that one transaction is important, but it's more important is the continuing of the relationship. Because when there's that trusting relationship back and forth, you can count on each other, get that third party endorsement, which is great. And so we want to make sure that we continue that for you. So we're gonna be, I know we're gonna be setting up some appointments. I know I have a few set up for today to meet with you, to talk a little bit about your business a little bit more. But then also, you guys got a magic wand, okay? Everybody think magic wand, Cinderella, we got the magic wand, fairy godmother. What are, and can I use a whiteboard?
Yep, absolutely.
What are you guys looking for, like a magic wand, go crazy, and a great lender partner? Go.
Communication.
Communication. Okay, awesome. Thank you. We can read my hieroglyphics. Okay, what else? That's it, we just gotta communicate
Follow
with
up
you?
with the client.
I'm sorry?
Follow up with the client.
Follow up.
I can think of someone. You guys can think of anyone?
Okay, just think of one, throw one out, right?
Come on, what do we need to?
Setting expectations.
Expectations. I'll say met and set. What else? Oh, come on, there's an obvious one.
Closing on time.
Closing on time. Close on time.
Come on, guys, help me out here. I don't want to keep doing
As
this.
a lender, doing a good job of bringing them back to the agent.
Okay, so, does that mean bringing a lead back to an agent? Does that mean,
Yeah, I did-
endorsing the agent?
Yeah, I did a little bit of both. really.
Being like your president of your fan club?
Yeah,
Okay.
Like
all right.
triangulating for trust.
reciprocal, you know?
President of fan
Same way I would try to
club.
refer my lenders.
Reciprocity.
Competitive products.
You're doing so good.
I know, you're so good at this. I think a lot of people feel that they're not that honest,
Okay.
so more honesty, but
Okay.
I don't know how you
Integrity.
account for that.
Integrity?
Yeah.
Both of our sides of the industry kind of suffer from that.
Yes, we do.
Perception.
Yeah, are we above or below used car salespeople?
Depends on who you're
Seriously?
talking to.
In a national survey, we are less trustworthy than used car salespeople. Yay! Love to be a real
I think we're
survey.
just above,
We're what?
we're just above the politicians.
Oh, phew, dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Does anybody?
Roy?
What else? Well, I mean, I'm gonna say one that I hear a lot, and I think the reciprocity was kind of a polite way of touching on it, but leads, right? Leads, right? You'd like to either get lead or get help with leads, right? Is that fair? Yes,
Generate,
okay.
help generate.
Generate business, so business, business, how about business development, how's that?
Yeah.
What was that? I'm sorry?
I just told you it's a lead machine.
Lead machine. I'm a rainmaker, I know how to make it rain, so if you wanna tap into here, let me know. So, I said my job is I get paid to make friends and I make my friends money. It's a good job, so. The friends, it's amazing, I get more friends when I make my other friends money, so it's kind of fun. I'm a high I, by the way, if you couldn't tell with the bright blue dress and the loudness of my voice. Have you guys done a disc class recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been too long, has it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It says how to be a mind reader. Okay, so these I think are really, really good, and I think this is definitely an expectation that we want to set with you. And I saw the moment we started writing, these two pull out their paper and start writing them down, so that shows that to me they're really committed to this partnership, right? And to me, that's and I mean, I think we'll put it up here, but communication, all of this has to do with trust. Yes? Right? If you trust each other, right? And trust is not something that's earned overnight, right? That's developed over a relationship, in any relationship, right? And sometimes that trust is built versus saying something like, oh, my bad. Oops, I meant to, oops, right? We're all human beings, right? I think that honesty thing is where you're talking about that too, is I think that's for all of us, right? We've all had stuff with our own clients where we thought you ever had that feeling of like, did I reply in my head or did I actually hit reply? Right? Right? I just, who said that to me? Jojo Madeline, who's the team leader up in Chico, saw me on Friday and she's like, did I reply to that email you sent, or did I just think I replied? And so I said, it's right, it's the thought that counts, right? So I said, good, I'm glad it's not just me that has that feeling of, I thought that I actually replied. So, you know, I think there's that thing of somebody's trust is built in vulnerability and sharing moments of, I'm a little freaked out, I don't have any listings right now. What can we do to help work on getting some listings, right? Having some transparency, sharing your business plans, right? You and your lender sitting down and say, okay, what is your goal for the year? What is my goal for the year? What's my big why? What does $300,000 do for my life? What does $500,000 do for your life? Right? Those are important because the days where you just don't feel like it, or the days you want to call your lender partner and say, okay, remind me again when I'm going door knocking when it's 105, which is, by the way, the best day to go door knocking. So
Because everybody's inside.
everybody's home and they feel sorry for you. So you wear like nice shorts and a KW shirt and you knock on doors and you have your water and all you need is business cards and a sad face and it's amazing. Also another great day to go is when it's pouring rain. So yes, it's all the realtors that work for my office hated me, just so we're clear. But this is something that we really feel is valuable, and this is, I believe all of these things are probably things that our clients would want of us as well. Yes? And building a partnership is about building trust and ultimately sharing our business philosophies, our culture, and helping us to do better. And obviously, with the right tools, you guys, we all know Keller Williams has got lots and lots of tools. And when I came to Prospect, I laughed because I said, wow, we're just like Keller Williams, got a bajillion tools. And so we don't want to throw every tool at you. Just like you don't want to throw every tool at your clients, we want to give you things that make sense for what you're looking to do. So that's why we'll be setting up meetings, and I said we're doing some of those today, and then we'll be setting up additional meetings as needed, and I'll come back and do any trainings you'd like.
Awesome, sounds good. How do they get hold of you?
Oh, sure, we'll get through these ladies.
Okay.
Find me through them, and we'll do things, and we create some, anything else I'm forgetting or missing, or?
I think you're on.
Okay, yeah, the stage and the microphone is my happy place. So,
Awesome.
anything else, guys? Any questions for me, or like how does my job work, or anything else? I don't know. So happy to help. Looking forward to get to know you guys a little bit more and helping you grow your business and achieve whatever your goals are for you and your team. So.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks,
Katie.
Appreciate it. Very cool. Katie and I actually figured out that like a while back when she was team leader, that we knew each other in Sacramento or something.
I grew up going to Merlino's Orange Freeze all the time
exactly.
as a little kid.
What do you think we did in my farm in the summertime at our open houses?
Absolutely, you're very smart. I thought
Awesome.
Orange Freeze copied, Orange Julius copied Merlino's. I was very upset at them for copying.
Yeah. Not even the same. Come on.
No, it's true.
All right, so really quick, again, the top earners, not everybody was here last time, so we showed this again. This is the same one I showed last week, right? Not everyone saw this. I really wanted you guys to see this. This is only the top, 14. Now, there's a lot more people who got money deposited on the 21st, but profit share is going nuts. If you're not getting your fair share of it or your unfair share of it, then see me with somebody who needs to be referred here.
I still get
Right.
profit share.
Yeah, and you're not even in the company
Nope.
anymore. Because once you're here for 3 years and a day, you are
Vested.
vested.
That's a
Love it.
beautiful
Let's
word.
have another team leader in the room. Okay, and the nice thing about this is, you're gonna end up referring people to the company regardless anyway, because from time to time, you're gonna run into people, and they're gonna end up joining because of you. No matter what company you're at, this company, you get compensated for it. It's awesome. So, don't recruit, just refer. Does everybody understand the difference in the dialogue and stuff like that? I've had that happen a couple of times since I've been out here, where I've eventually gotten a meeting with the person, and the person who I sat down with said, I talked to so-and-so from your company, and they really, it kind of was like, they drank the Kool-Aid or whatever. It kind of was don't scare them, okay, that's what I'm saying. So, anyway, all you want to do is just say, the real dialogue is, I could tell you, when somebody asks you about it, I could tell you, what it's meant for me and for my business, but honestly, best thing for you to do, because you may have different needs and wants and curiosities, is just have a meeting with Roy. He's not going to harangue you about coming to the company, and you'll leave with options, right? I love that little script. It works great, and it's non-threatening, and it's actually the truth. And I promise you this, if you refer somebody to me, I'm going to try twice to get a hold of them. If I don't get a hold of them, I'm going to call you and let you know. I'm not gonna harangue your real estate colleagues and use your name, right? I'll just say, hey, Charles and I were talking, he mentioned you, he said you and I should know each other, right? And maybe a couple other things, and if I don't get a hold of them, then I'm gonna call you back and say, hey, Charles, you know, Fred from ABC Company didn't call me back, but thank you so much for the referral. Let me know if you want me to try to contact them again, okay? So don't, you know, I'm not gonna full court press it. All right, let's talk about successes from this week to last week, or last week to this week. Who has a success that they want to share from last week to this week? Steve?
1424 pheasants on the market as of yesterday,
Nice. How much?
480. 530 is the break-even point. It's a short sale. I don't know that it'll be pushed that high. It could. I mean, there have been units similar to it that have gone that high, but it's needs a little bit of work, not a lot. Door trim, one window sill, and a paint job on the outside in the backyard. Has a pool. It was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,470 square foot house. They took out 1 bedroom, made it a much larger family room, living room combination type thing. Kitchen's totally remodeled, looks really good, very functional, and so that one we're gonna let it sit for a week so that the banks knows that we marketed it, and then we'll take offers as they come in, starting next week. And then 610 E Street, we should have the keys in the lockbox today. She hasn't finished clearing everything out. She's got a bunch of bags and stuff in there and stuff like that. So I don't think it'll hit the market until later this week. But it was built in 1875. It's kind of a worker's house. Not a lot of flair to it, but they did do a kitchen remodel 20 years ago. Wood floors. It's got two bathrooms and a bedroom downstairs and 2 bedrooms upstairs, no bathroom upstairs. So it's a little different kind of floor plan. There's no yard and there's no garage. So 550 is what we're looking for.
East Street in Petaluma.
East Street, 610 East Street in Petaluma. It's a good location. Yeah.
What was the address of that first house you had the short sale?
1424 Pheasant.
Awesome. Shed.
Okay, Barton, Smith and I, we did the Bold 100 yesterday. 100 contacts in one day.
Sweet.
We went face to face out in the community. Took us about 4 or 5 hours.
Wow, so less time we would have taken you on the phone then.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah,
we,
for
talked,
sure.
we actually generated about 7 pieces of business from
Awesome.
it, between the both of us.
That's awesome.
So
Tell me your script.
97 no's and 3 yeses is what I had.
That's awesome.
Yay, that's awesome.
3.5% success rate. That's fantastic.
I mean, like Genie Rex would say, you know, you figure an average commission here is 10,000 on a house. You know, $30,000 worth of commission. If you got one of those, 10,000 worth of for 4 hours of work.
Right.
So
And each time you talk to somebody, so did you do the math and see how much each no was worth? That's fun.
That
to
is
do
fun.
yeah,
You know,
So you got
if you
50,
figured
right?
like, you know, you got 3 pieces of business from it,
yeah,
average commission is what?
10,000.
Yeah. So that's 30 grand. 97, what's 30 grand quick? What's 30,000 divided by 97?
3,000.
Roughly $3,000.
Each no was worth how much?
Roughly 3,000.
300.
No, 300.
300. Each no was worth $300.
It was.
Hey, tell me no, dude. Tell me no. Come on, tell me. Right? Didn't we just talk about Go for No, the book Go for No?
That's a great book.
Isn't it neat to start to sort of take what scares you and make it something positive? Because all of us are people pleasers and none of us want to hear no. What if you wanted to hear no? Come on, tell me no, man. It's $300.
Yep.
Tell me,
was-
where
it was
where
a
did
great
you,
experience.
where did you do this, and what was your?
We went everywhere. We
what was
went
your
across to Osh, we went across to Kohl's, we went to
You just kinda stood in front
Kmart,
of
we
the
went
store?
to Freedom Brothers. Yeah, exactly.
Just invaded the place,
We
right?
invaded. Just
Yeah.
ruthless. It was ridiculous.
No prisoners.
Like we would just, I was in Orchard standing there and the guy goes, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "Actually, you can. I'm taking a business development class. We're trying to see who can generate more referrals, buyers or sellers. Who do you currently know looking to either buy, sell, or invest in real estate?"
That I can call
I can call.
Right.
today.
And it was
The contest of work.
boom.
I love it.
It
What did
was-
he say?
Well, 97 people said no.
Get out of my store. Did you get out your
Hey, you
car?
can't do that in here, man.
So, but yeah, it was fun.
That's awesome.
It was
Did you wear a KW shirt or anything
no,
like
just
that?
dress nice.
Just dress nice,
Yeah.
just professionally
Like that.
dressed.
Yeah,
Like
nice.
this. With your good Sunday t-shirt on versus your
Yeah,
regular
yeah,
t-shirt.
This doesn't
So,
look like a more
it was-
missionary than this, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
It was, worth doing once in your career, I think.
Mhm.
You know.
Making 100 contacts in a day.
It's fun.
What does
You
it
think you
do?
can't do it, you think it's too hard to do.
Right,
And when you leave with a stack of business cards that much, that
Yeah.
big, you're like, wow.
yeah.
And then when you get down to the one, it's
Yeah,
like, wow.
the last
we did
one.
it.
Mhm.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
And then, the other thing about it is, how easy is it now for you to make 20?
Oh my God.
It's like 20 contacts, no big deal. And I forget what the percentage is, but if you're making 20 contacts a day, look, our job is what? How many people can you guys meet and ask them for business? That's it. How many people can you meet and ask them for business? It's your fault. Yeah. How many people can you meet and ask for business? How many people can you talk to and ask for business? That's it. That's really what your job is. Everything else in your business can be done by someone else.
Yep.
Even taking listings. Ask Jimmy Rex. Ask Brian. Ask Ben Kinney. Right? Everything else in your business can be done by someone else except for the lead generation. Right? So he who generates the leads owns the business. So for you now, after making 100 contacts, making 20 probably seems like you're kind of slacking.
Yeah,
You know.
next day, it's like I get back to doing 20, but yeah.
Yeah, because tomorrow is what? Which is another success. Tomorrow is what?
Full graduation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go down there with you
Fun.
guys. It's gonna be
Oh, cool.
awesome. These guys are all gonna graduate from Bold, which has been a
Sweet.
7-week nightmare for them.
It's kind of cool.
Why don't you can you talk about Bold in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Who else has a success they want to share? Steve, no more pitching until the pitching part.
No,
Okay.
Our success man.
Wyatt, who their parents live in St. Helena and they want to move to Petaluma, so they referred them to me, and so we met
Nice.
last week. And they're looking for a house for $550,000, or up to $700,000.
Yep. That's awesome. Way to go.
That's my system.
That's fantastic. Well, that's the same thing, right? Except instead of how many people that you don't know can you meet, how many people that you do know can you talk to and ask for referrals and create that relationship and nurture it, right? And still, even with your business, what does Buffini teach? You gotta add how many people to your database to keep it alive? You have to add haven't mets, right?
Yeah, well, you have to get up to 100 people in your database.
Right.
And then it's a matter of upgrading.
Right, and
So-
using the mayor campaign.
So, the average person needs 5 a day.
Mhm.
When you have a database as mature as mine, then
Mhm.
it's less,
Right,
because you're a lot pickier at what you're looking at.
right. Love it. That's awesome. Fantastic. And you're still you're doing the same thing except with people that you know. In a
Yeah, mine are
different
all warm
dialogue.
calls.
Yeah, warm calls, different dialogue. I love it. Fantastic. Who else has a
You don't have to
success?
go to the mall and do 100.
I had, this week I had 2 price reductions, one,
Yes.
less than 30 days, felt it was necessary,
Mhm.
had that conversation. Then I have a pocket listing.
Wait. Say that again, because this is gonna get really important. Did everybody hear exactly what he just said?
Thought it was necessary.
Yeah, I felt it was necessary for their best.
Less than 30 days on the market, went in and got a price reduction. You did that,
Yes.
right? They didn't call you and say,
No.
hey, can you drop my price?
I called them, I told them it was urgent that we speak,
Right?
and that I had some information I wanted to bring to them that I thought they would want to know,
Uh-huh.
to get the property sold and still get the highest price, and it was by reducing.
Right, and so how do they take the news?
Big gulp and said, if that's what you think we should do, let's do it.
Right, because
Because
because it was the market talking to you, right?
Right, that's what I talked about.
Mhm.
We went over how many people have been in, why didn't they, how come we haven't received the offer, and, we've
Mhm.
gotten the activity that, we got the activity we were anticipating, just didn't get the offer we were hoping for,
Right,
and
right, so it's the market telling us.
market's telling us, yeah, exactly.
Way to go, that's fantastic.
And then I have a
Did you get it where you wanted it?
Yeah, I felt good about it.
Good.
I probably would have liked to be a little bit more, but I felt this was it was almost $50,000 reduction, so
Cool.
it was a serious reduction. And then I have another listing, it's been a pocket listing, but I've had 3 showings. We got some feedback while we were getting the tenant out and did some showings. So I actually took a $60,000 price reduction before we went on the market.
Mhm.
We're going on the market next week at $499 instead of $559.
because you're watching the market and keeping your clients updated.
Yeah, and the feedback, and then just a little bit of a consensus of fixers in this market and what's going
Right.
on. And then this morning I took a listing at the price I wanted it at, and it was less than they were thinking.
Yeah, way to go, way to go. You know how critical that is right now with what's going on in the market?
Absolutely.
Is everybody looking at inventory? Is everybody looking at time on the market? Does everybody know that there's listings out there, there's stale stuff out there? And it wasn't like this how long ago? When I first came out here, there wasn't anything for sale, and that was only 8 months ago, you know? So,
It's a whole different feeling walking away from a listing, getting a price that you think is in their best interest to get it sold, as opposed to getting a listing and hoping it's gonna sell, and if not, we'll reduce it.
yeah, yeah, I think that's beautiful. Just so you know, we've talked about expireds and FSBOs already, and how the trend from back in 2013 looks like this, and the actual market is doing this, but people are still listing up here. We've talked about where the money is in that, which is calling on expireds, and expireds are gonna become really big. And if you don't wanna have your unfair share of expireds, the reason why there's gonna be more expireds is because most agents don't do that. Most agents don't go running to their clients with the information that the market's telling them, because why?
Or phrases.
Afraid they're gonna shoot the messenger. And also, they've got, not you guys, but a lot of agents have gotten lazy. I saw this in the market back in the big run-up from 2000 through 2006. When you couldn't put a house on the market and sell it in 7 days for, 15% over asking price with 9 offers anymore, and houses were on the market overpriced, once the agent had the listing for 2 or 3 weeks, they stopped calling their client, and then their client's calling them. That's strike one, right? Strike two is they stop answering their clients' calls, because they're like, oh, God, it's Steve again. And he's gonna ask me why his property's not in the PD, and why his property isn't on the front page of Homes and Land, and why I haven't done, an open house every day, right? Right? Is that not true?
That's hilarious.
And really, none of that matters. The truth is.
Wall Street Journal is the other one.
And I know this when I'm dating, which is why I want to take this call. Freaking house is overpriced by like 30% or 20%. We're never going to even get an offer. Why am I going to go do all that stuff? I'm not. When really I should be running to Steve going, Steve, the market's talking to us. Just exactly what he did. Get ready for that. People aren't doing it. The expireds are already big. If you're not looking into Red X and Land Voice and stuff like that, you should be. And they're gonna get bigger come back to school, which is how many weeks away?
2.
2 weeks away. You guys wanna make a killing in the next, after about 2 weeks, start hitting expireds in about 15, 16 days from now. Start
I've seen a
slamming.
lot of expireds. I mean, the
Well, you have to expand out
days
for
on market
expireds.
are still looking at 30 to 60 days, so they're still selling quick enough. I mean, even on a 90-day listing, it's still gonna be closing
Right.
soon enough.
If you expand out, you'll see more expireds than you're seeing if you're just looking in just, the city of Petaluma or the cities of like Novato and Petaluma and stuff like that. If you go Marin County, Sonoma County, because let's be honest, if you would take a listing for $700,000 in San Rafael and you're in Santa Rosa, then you should be looking for expireds from however far you would go for that listing. You know what I mean? So you're right. Right now, in the city, if all you're looking at is a small area and you're not seeing enough, cast a wider net. But you're gonna start to see more, for sure.
In your presentation for the listings, you gotta start talking about the transitioning market.
Yep.
And show them how the days on market has changed. Show them that the prices are that yes, there are still houses that sell in 2 days and get 10% over asking, but they're few and far between. They're special homes. Everybody thinks they have a special home, but the reality is that if you have to, in some instances, it may be time to start getting the price reduction at the listing.
A lot of times you have to, right? Because you're going in there on a listing presentation, they've already done their own research on what they think their house is worth. Everyone does, right?
You can go ahead and say, okay, well, I'm willing to work with you on that, but you have to be willing to sign a price reduction in 2 weeks.
Steve, that's a brilliant point though, what you just said, that when you go in on a listing, that's your first price reduction. It didn't used to be that way before they could go on and have what they thought was accurate value research on their own. Now everybody does it, And you gotta your first price reduction is when you take the listing. Almost always, right?
Yeah,
But that's brilliant. Yeah.
That's what happened with like I said, I got the listing this morning at the price I wanted to get it at,
Mhm.
and they had another number, and she said, well, what if you try this number? I says, okay, then how soon do you want to reduce the price? She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, we're building in a price reduction if we use that number. And so I said, so we might also anticipate that in about 2 weeks, we're gonna be talking about this price as opposed to today.
Mhm.
And so, well, let's just do it today then.
Yeah.
You better market the hell out of the property. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. Well, you want a price reduction, but you didn't advertise here. You didn't do anything, you didn't do, I mean, that's what these people are gonna do. They're gonna come after you because in the beginning, you told them that you're gonna have to do a price reduction. Now, they're looking at you on a microscope.
Do you guys see this
That's
right here?
that's
That's
expectation.
exactly what he's talking about. So there's two ways to handle people's expectations. First of all, let's talk truth. How do you market a property effectively in Petaluma? A property that's an average price property in Petaluma.
You
What-
market it everywhere, the same way.
Right. So so what is the most effective marketing for a property? No team leaders allowed.
Well, the marketing is to the realtors because 80% of the deals that are done are.
And how do you market to the realtors?
You go to the meeting, you do email blast, you do.
And really, at the end of the day, MLS, right? If the property's in MLS, look, if the property's in MLS,
Goes to Trulia.
it goes out everywhere. There is no one left who would buy that home that does not know it's for sale. That's the truth, right? Is that not the truth? Now, we all want to say, well, because I do all this other stuff, it's going to be better. And yeah, and will it make it a little better? Yeah. If you're going to blast it out to everybody, well, especially if it's pre-marketing, is it going to pre-hype it and stuff? Absolutely. If you're going to do the big grand opening pre-hype thing and door knock and have a bunch of people in the house, will it make the people who do see it right better off or sooner? Absolutely. But the truth is that along with that stuff, if the property's in MLS, there's no one left, and this is a script, there's no one left out there who would buy the property that does not know it's for sale. There's no one left who would buy the property who does not know it's for sale. How do we know when the market's talking to us if we're priced too high? Well, since it's being properly marketed by being in MLS and doing whatever it is that you're going to say that you do, that your unique value proposition is. John, since all this stuff is being done, here's what we know. There's no one left who would buy your property that doesn't know it's for sale. X number of people have looked at it and chosen not to write an offer. A few of those people have chosen, one of those people we can presume has chosen to buy this house, which was the competition for your property, right? That kind of stuff. But get used to having that dialogue with people. All this other smoke and mirrors stuff, it's all smoke and mirrors. Putting their property in Homes and Land magazine, smoke and mirrors. Putting their property in paying for a Realtor.com platinum account so it has 19 pictures and they can charge you money, smoke and mirrors. So if you're talking about, I think the truth is what sells. You guys all know the truth. The people who agree to do the other stuff, now with a few properties accepted, okay, if you have a really ridiculously expensive, unique, one-of-a-kind thing that needs to be marketed on a global scale to people who aren't going to be looking for property, like if you determine that the target market for that property is somebody who's not really looking for property, but that would buy it if they knew it was available, then you're talking about maybe some different marketing requirements. But for the typical average property, to whatever your ultra-high luxury is, below that, you don't need that stuff. So the truth is what sells. And I think it's more about, at the listing appointment, like you're talking about, and like you're talking about, and like you said, managing expectations. Teaching, the truth is what sells. Sell them the truth. Tell them exactly what it is that gets their home sold. And then tell them how you can then take those people who would buy the property if they knew it was for sale, make sure they know it's for sale, and then maximize the energy around that so that it creates the best offer sooner. And then negotiate the best terms and handle the negotiations and inspections. That's where your unique value proposition comes in. Does everybody agree with that, or does anybody have something they want to add to that or take issue with that? I'm fine if somebody doesn't agree with that. The agents who get in trouble, the agents whose deals expire, they don't manage expectations. They're weak on price. Right? They're weak on price up front, and then when the property doesn't sell in 3 weeks, they're weak on everything. They go away, right? I made a ton of money calling on expires, and the initial pushback from almost everyone who actually picks up the phone when you call them is, You guys all suck. You guys are great at communication when you want the listing and you want your sign in my yard. As soon as my guy's sign went up, man, I didn't hear from him again. That was in a declining market where all he had for his client was bad news from day one because he took it too high in the first place. So I think expires are gonna be huge for you guys. We got way off track, sorry. Who has, any more successes to share in here? Okay, awesome. For you guys that are in bold, that's a success. Graduation tomorrow, I'll be there. I'm excited, I'm fired up. Your pictures, I'm gonna make you famous on Facebook. All right, how about housing wants? Who has a listing that's coming, is not currently in MLS that they wanna share? Yes.
Yeah, the property that I was just describing, that I took this morning, it's a single level, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. The address is 104 Renee Drive, 1,885 square feet. 102, is it? Oh, 102 Renee Drive, thank you. 102 Renee Drive, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single level, large master bedroom with a changing area or a little sitting area, that floor plan. Dated all the way through, it's got a decent roof, pest looks like it's gonna be minimal. It just needs the right buyer to come in and update. Carpets are in good shape, but other than that, it's pretty original. Single pane windows, and for $459. So I think it's a lot of house, good street.
Cool.
We're gonna.
When do you think it's coming on?
We couldn't quite make tour tomorrow. We're gonna do an open house on Sunday, brokers open next Wednesday, and then we were gonna look at offers on Saturday because I'm going on vacation on Monday. So.
Where you going?
Going back east.
That's a success. Why didn't you talk about that? That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna do Boston, Washington DC, and Philadelphia, and go to Red Sox game. So.
Awesome.
Nice.
Cool. Pictures of the Red
Yeah,
Sox.
absolutely.
That's gonna be cool. You can ride, you can fly.
We're flying.
I'm just kidding. Who else has something coming? Yeah. Who else has something coming that's not currently on the market that they want to share? All right. How about buyer needs? Real quick buyer needs. Okay. Here's the calendar. This is in the past. We were going to do bold download today. After me, we're going to run out of time before that. Bold graduation's coming up, and then next week, the bold download is going to be a big deal. The whole meeting is going to be basically taken up with bold download and ahas and stuff that passed the pushback, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to want to be there for that. This has become really huge, you guys. Yes?
I forgot to mention that we started our bikini class.
Oh yeah, tell us about it.
7 agents, only one outside of Keller Williams, and he used to be a Keller Williams agent. It's a really good class. One new person and then 6 experienced people who were very excited about moving it on. First week is every day for 2 hours every day. And then
Peak Performers is it called?
Peak Producers.
Peak Producers.
And the first week, basically they learned sort your database, here's what buyers expect, here's what sellers expect, and we're getting everything, the core of the business is the first 5 days, and now we're getting in, yesterday was goal setting.
Awesome.
So
Very cool.
we're getting into the rest of it, so.
Very cool.
It was a good.
So it's well attended and it's like, yeah, that's awesome. So it's every day until when?
It's 13 total weeks, no, it's 12 total weeks.
Okay, and how much is it?
Normally $395.
And for a while they had a deal on it, but
If you
is it too late to sign up?
It would be now.
Would it? Okay.
We're already 6 classes.
How often do you guys do one?
I'll do another one starting in January.
Okay.
After this one's over, it'll be too close to the holidays.
Okay. If we could get some testimonials from some of the people that have been in it too, we can jam up your next one if you want us to, especially with the people from Santa Rosa.
8's a good number for me.
Okay.
Because
Just asking.
I don't have the space and I don't want to have to travel up to Santa Rosa to teach it. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes.
Just real quick, Steve, I called Steve yesterday. I really wanted to get another opinion on price on that listing. And he just done peak performers. He probably had 1 million phone calls return. He jumped in the car and drove down and met me at the property and took a quick peek at it, gave me his thoughtful opinion on it. I just want to acknowledge and thank him for doing that.
Yeah, that's way cool. Thank you for doing that. That's above and beyond. Awesome. Love that. It's kind of you to mention it too. Who in here has been to the McCall Team Mastermind? Go. Even if you just go once a month. Trust me. Just go. I can sit here and tell you guys all about it, but we're running out of time. and I'm just gonna get freaky passionate again and use the rest of the 15 minutes. So,
Well, that's my phrase of the day.
I know, yeah. Oh, come on, it's not that far. You guys are killing me. Oh my, I don't wanna go to Santa Rosa.
Sleepy country community, okay?
I know, oh, geez, 101 now. Not gonna do that. All right, so check it out when you can. The broker risk management tip. So everybody knows that everybody knows that about keeping communications in a file, the rule for about 3 years, and it had been the standard of practice and the accepted judicial standard that you were to keep all communications about a transaction for 3 years. So people were running out buying apps that saved your tweets and apps that save your texts and apps and programs that, or actually physically copying and pasting their Facebook instant messages into Word documents and saving them in the file, stuff like that. New rule just came down, and that rule says that any communication that is considered to be ephemeral, which means it kind of goes away and exists in the ether, right? Like texts and not emails, but like text, Facebook instant messages, Snapchats. By the way, if you're Snapchatting your clients, my kids do that.
It's probably
right?
not about real estate.
Yeah, exactly. See me after class. Facebook messages, stuff like that. You do not have to keep those. Now, what Eileen and I want you guys to know is that if it contains pertinent information about details in a file, you should keep it anyway. But don't worry anymore about, hey, my client texted me and asked me to meet him because he wanted to look at something about, he wants to see how busy the street is on Saturday or whatever. You don't have to keep that text, right?
You jot it down and just say, log, hey,
You don't even have to do it.
Okay.
What they're saying is it's an ephemeral communication. And also though, what Bill Jensen, the attorney, wants you guys to know is ephemeral is open to interpretation.
A simple rule of thumb on this is if it's important, if it's important enough to have it, then put it in an email and say what we discussed today.
Yeah, memorialize it in an email. I love that. Yeah, this email is just to memorialize our conversation today. This is my understanding of our conversation today. What?
It's easy to print from your phone anyway.
Yeah, it is, if you have AirPrint, right, or if you have a, that kind of thing. So, or you can just, push on, if it's an iPhone, just push on it, copy, right, and then go to, your email, paste it into an email it to yourself. It's quick and easy. But you don't have to, unless it's something like that you think is critical.
Phone conversation you would want to do.
You bet. So I've gotten 5 calls on this in the last week since the last meeting. There's a bunch of people in here calling on, not necessarily in this office, but in our organization, calling on for sale by owners. And there's one particular objection that they always get when they use the script that we teach, which is really just the Mike Ferry script that's KWized, right? And that is what? Who in here knows the FSBO script? The beginning of the FSBO script. Hi, this is Roy with Keller Williams. I'm just calling you because I noticed your home is privately available, right? And I wondered if you're accepting offers on that property, right? Or, hi, this is Roy with Keller Williams. I noticed your home is privately available, and I'm wondering, what we used to say is, I'm wondering when you're going to be interviewed, how long you'll work to sell it yourself before you interview the right agent to get it sold for you. That kind of thing, right? Something really direct. That's even better. Yeah. So, what do you do? So then, what do you say when somebody says, "Yeah, you can help me. I'm just wondering how I can help you," right? Because that's how we changed it. The old Mike Ferry script is what I just said, and now the KWized version of it is, "Hey, this is Roy Merlino with Keller Williams. I noticed that your home is privately available, and that's what I do. I bring buyers. I sell property. So I'm just calling you to find out, how I can help you get that property sold." And what do they say?
Bring me a buyer.
Bring me a buyer. And then what do you say? Oh, okay, I'll be shown there with my buyer. You say that?
Are you paying the buyer's agent 3%?
Yeah, then you ask them about commission, all that kind of stuff, would you be willing to cooperate? You could assume that they are when they say bring you a buyer because they know you're a real estate agent. You should, I wouldn't assume it all the way to actually showing the property. But for purposes of this, you could assume that they are until you get deeper into making the appointment. Here's a great way to handle that pushback on, yeah, Sure, you can help. Bring me a buyer. I love this guy, by the way. This guy's
Hey there, it's Kevin Orr with Yes Masters Real Estate Success Training, helping you get more yeses and more successes in your business and in your life. And I got an email, a question from somebody who's been watching a video, I guess a video online about using my expired script, or my for sale by owner script. They said expired script, but this is the for sale by owner script. So I think this is a for sale by owner objection. So when you say, how can I help you, which would be the for sale by owner script, I work with a lot of buyers and sellers in the area, and I was wondering, how can I help you? What can I do to help you? And they said, well, you can bring me a buyer. And the email says, then I get stuck. What should I say next? Well, it's real simple. Well, they want you to bring them a buyer, right? I mean, isn't that what every for sale by owner wants? So I was just wondering, what can I do to help you? Well, you can bring me a buyer. Bring me a buyer, great, because that's what I do for a living. Now, first thing, acknowledge it, bring you a buyer. Awesome, excellent, great, because that is what I do for a living, which is what you do. When you list a property, your specialty is you bring a buyer. Okay, it may not be your buyer, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares who brings the buyer. Unless you're the one bringing them. The sellers don't care who brings the buyer. All they care is they want a good buyer. So that is what I do for a living. So you are willing to pay a real estate agent that has a buyer. Excellent. Now, that's the response. You don't, notice what I said is, so you are willing to pay an agent that brings a buyer. Excellent. Because they're literally saying, yes, I'm willing to pay a commission for that. And here's the reason that's important. They've already told you they're willing to pay half of a full commission, because they are. Every for sale by, not every, but most for sale by owners are willing to pay at least some commission, and they're willing to pay to a buyer's agent. There are two things you don't want to do. Number one is say, great, well, let me see if I have a buyer, or let me come look at your house to see if it fits for one of my buyers. That's what I call a BS approach, because it's BS. You don't have a buyer. If you had a buyer, you would not have been calling them saying what you just said. Okay, if you had a buyer, you'd
Oh, sorry. I have a meeting. It's reminding me about it.
call and said, hey, I've noticed your house for sale. I've got a buyer that's interested in it. Wouldn't it be a good time for me to come see it? That's what you would say. However, because in the real estate industry, we're taught so much BS, and we're so used to it, I hear so many agents using that BS approach. Don't use that approach. Okay, if you don't have a buyer, don't act like you have a buyer. Number one, because it's BS on your part, and number two, because it tricks them into thinking that their philosophy of finding a buyer actually works, and that is, all I got to do is put my house out there on the market for sale by owner, and agents will bring me buyers. Look, how many agents who have great qualified buyers are going online looking for sale by owners? And the answer is none of us. Why? Because that's not the sellers we want to work with. Because not that they're bad or evil or anything wrong with them, they're self-represented. They may or may not have a clue. They may or may not be easy to work with. They may or may not be realistic. And so buyers and agents that have qualified buyers don't go to Craigslist looking for sale by owners. They don't go to for sale by owner.com. They go to the MLS. So when you tell a for sale by owner, awesome, well, let me come and see if it will work for one of my buyers, you're basically putting them under the impression that their strategy is a legitimate, valid strategy to get them a result that they want. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't ever work. I'm just saying don't lead them along that path of thinking that their strategy works. You're acknowledging, great, so you are willing to work with an agent that has a buyer. Excellent, good for you. So I'm curious, how much time would you take before you might be ready to interview or hire an agent for the job of actually getting it sold for you? And I'm just going right along with the for sale by owner script that I teach, because it's powerful, it's honest, it's no BS, and it's based on this very simple premise. If I can help you get the result that you want, help you get your property sold, and still net you the money you need in your pocket after commissions and everything to make the move happen, would you be open to talking with me about that? Would you be open to interviewing me now? And it's so crazy how many of them will actually say yes to you on the very first conversation if you don't lead them along this BS path. So, hope that helps. Use it, be confident, be powerful, and know that you can help for sale by owners get a better result than they can get on their own. If you're wondering about how to do that, go down below here, click on the link, and subscribe to some more of my deep dive tricks.
Okay, all you guys should subscribe to this guy if you haven't already. I know I've played some of his other videos. It's youtube.com/Kevin Ward Now.
Kevin Ward.
Kevin Ward Now. And subscribe to him, go look at the videos. He has all of the script. The guy's really good at basically what are Mike Ferry scripts with little twists. And he's slick and smooth, and he's polished as far as he knows. You can tell he actually does the calls. He's not a theorist. You can tell by that how he says the scripts. So anyway, I like that guy. Does that get over? Does that get you guys over? Is there anybody in here who's calling on FSBOs, by the way? Okay, have you run into that?
Yeah, and I said what he said, I had to buy her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got a buyer. Let me come by and see you. Right, because you're stuck at that point. You're kind of like, oh, crap, really?